mengon yezar zombe danda je zembe zewe se dezo roga mege dezo jiro tuje dama gune jiro jide som ji kama ja to wang pe ma ka be she be dring dale yezo jo ujin so ling pe me dongbo zere yewe namde ranju nando senzo beje yen denso barwe pe ma june she ge da ye jong 이게 돌로 돈도 쟁겨 그분 다담이 기남다 저군이 전업 지서 탐지기도 최전 된줄지 Once again, please listen to the teachings by giving rise to the motivation of bodhicitta, which is the mind to perfect enlightenment for all the sentient beings who have been wandering in samsara endlessly. So the teaching that we are receiving is the continuation of this series of teachings on shamatha and Vipashyana. And we have completed teachings on some shamatha and also some part on Vipashyana, but we're still going to continue with some remaining instructions on Vipashyana. As you know, in order to attain enlightenment or in order to gain some realization, whether it's a perfect realization, complete realization, or the partial realization, or even if you want to have some degree of happiness and peace in this samsara, actually it depends on how calm your mind is and how deep you are able to see the reality of the phenomena. For example, even if the high in it, let's say, of course, as you know, there's form rim, formless rims, different rims of the God, devas in Buddhist cosmology. They are the result of some degree of shamatha and vipashyana. And also, as a human being, whoever has a shamatha or the calm aspect of the mind, they're mentally, physically well. Reality. For example, let's say that I give you a very easy example. A person, like an elderly person who has a broad knowledge of what's going on around his family or in the village, he will have more confident way of doing the things, and he will have more, like, what do you call now, peace in mind than like a younger generation people who are like panicking. They will be like a little bit uncomfortable, no confidence. Yeah, like they haven't practiced shamatha or vipassana, but similar like that, they have this little bit profound insight and calm aspect of their mind. That is why they can do it. Like that, when you practice shamatha vipassana, it goes higher and higher. So then again, the shamatha is, as I mentioned before, you go higher and higher, the shamatha also different, the degree of the calmness, of tranquility of the mind, and then the degree of seeing the true nature of the reality is more clear. You go God rim, form rim, formless rim is better than form rim, right? Arhats being in a shamatha and seeing of the vipassana is better than all these formless rim gods. Then you go bodhisattva level. Bodhisattva's shamatha vipassana is more exalted than the arhats. All these 10 levels of bodhisattvas, they each better. You go higher, you go better. But if the second level is better than first level, third level is better than second level, until the 10th bhumi. Or the Buddha's in when you become Buddha, perfect enlightened, you are at the resultant state. And you know that all the meditation techniques in Buddhism, or even in many of the ancient Hindu tradition, could be classified into shamatha and vipassana actually, because ancient Hindu in the ancient Hindu system, except there is called Hindu school that they didn't believe in next life or cause and condition, almost like a nihilist. Other than that, many of the Hindus they believed that there's next life, previous life, and all this cosmology, like God realms, all this formless realms. And they believe that some of their teachers, masters, like for example, Brahma, Indra, all the God realms, they believe. And then also some of their, one of the schools, Samkhya school, I think their rishi or their sage is said to be lived in the highest form realm, like that.
Mm.
So, but, and then they believe that it's through the shamatha and vipassana. And then again, just general shamatha vipassana is not enough to born in the form and form realms God realm with the discipline. So
Mm.
moral discipline, here's the thing.
Mm.
Even in Buddhism, we have this surtim things in sharab. So
Mm.
surtim,
Yeah.
moral discipline, things in with concentration or samadhi or shamatha, we
Mm.
can say. Sharab is wisdom. So these three
Mm.
will let you go higher, liberate. But if we do that, practice that in a Buddhist way, of course, you will completely liberate from the suffering. But
Mm.
if you do that with the mundane mindset, then you're
Mm.
born in the God or God realm. For example, just 10 virtuous action, you will
Yeah.
born in a God realm. If you engage in 10 virtuous action, I think you know,
Mm-hmm.
just 10 virtuous action, but you
Mm-hmm.
don't go for refuge, no
Mm-hmm.
bodhicitta,
Mm-hmm.
what will be the result?
Mm.
Result will be you will be born within samsara, but in a God realm, different level of God realm.
Mm. Okay.
If you do the engage in the 10 virtuous action with the we're going for refuge, because when you go
Mm.
for refuge means your goal is to attain enlightenment, not to be born in
Mm.
samsara,
Yeah.
not to be born in God realm. Because God realm is also a realm of suffering, right? So of
Mm.
course you go beyond. That is the difference. So same shamatha and vipassana, you practice.
Mm.
Not a Buddhist, you practice shamatha and vipassana, you born
Mm.
in a God realm, different form, formless
Mm.
realm. And as I said earlier, let's say the order of shamatha and vipassana. Some people can, yes, you can directly engage in the Vipashyana meditation, profound
Mm.
insight meditation.
Mm.
But as I said earlier, it's not going to be stable.
Mm.
Vipassana is like a lamp.
Mm.
And if you don't have shamatha,
Mm.
the lamp will be blown away by the wind. So
Mm.
first, if you have a certain degree of shamatha, then you train in vipassana. Then you see the things clearly, and your
Mm.
vipassana is not blown away. Otherwise, all this afflictive emotion, conceptual thoughts are like a wind.
Mm.
It will come and blow away. That is why, sometimes we understand intellectually and we have some wisdom, but that's not stable. Conceptual thoughts,
Yeah.
waves and windstorms. Yeah, that is why first shamatha is very important to engage in shamatha practice. Then you engage in vipassana meditation practice, such as, for example, meditation on emptiness, meditation on Madhyamika philosophy, meditation on Dzogchen. All involves first calming down your mind, and then, but again, you go higher teachings such as Dzogchen, then
Mm.
you can practice shamatha and vipassana both simultaneously, but in the never talk like that. Even in the general Vajrayana or visualization stage or generation stage or creation stage practice, caring practice, you
Mm.
are visualizing the deity.
Mm.
You can visualize the deity well only if you're good in shamatha.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
then you visualize the deity, and then that deity, you visualize, but you should be aware that deity is not truly existing. That is why
Mm.
we visualize as like a rainbow and light
Mm.
body, right? It's
Yeah.
not inherently existing like that. These are all has to be involved with the shamatha and vipassana. If you don't have understanding of shamatha vipassana, you're directly engaging in this deity yoga
Mm.
practice, whether you visualize yam and taka or whatever, you're
Mm.
actually doing it in the wrong way, actually. If you think the deity really exists, this
Mm.
is the view of eternalism. If you think that the deity that you visualize doesn't exist, nihilism, like that. All is
Mm.
dangerous, actually. You may not understand right now. You have directly
Mm.
engaged in that kind of practice, and your teacher or someone has never taught you.
Mm-hmm.
There might be some benefit because of your faith in devotion, want to have a realization through Yamantaka
Mm-hmm.
practice. You have
Mm-hmm.
to practice Yamantaka with Shamatha and Vipassana.
Yes,
Same
sir.
thing, completion stage practice. If you are doing this yantra yoga exercise, two more heat energy, and
Mm-hmm.
then all this yogi exercise, salom, chukur,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you don't have shamatha vipassana, and you just randomly practice, same like you practice like those hatha yoga in India. And then
Mm-hmm.
same
Yeah.
thing, Sochin, but you go higher in Vajrayana, they may not say explicitly, oh, this is shamatha, this is vipassana. They come up with a different name. With Dzogchen,
Mm-hmm.
it's a texture and Turgle. Like that is why in Vajrayana, Sadhana, whatever you practice, you will find after refuge, bodhicitta, and accumulation of matter, you will find within the emptiness. You should know this. Everything is empty. So its emptiness is vipassana. And then
Mm-hmm.
you are within that vipassana, you have to maintain this visualization of the deity very
Mm-hmm.
clearly, vividly, and stable.
Mm-hmm.
That is see, shamatha vipassana. Go to the
Mm-hmm.
dzogchen. You are, yes, the master, dzogchen master gives you the pointing of instruction. Your nature of mind is empty essence, luminous nature.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be in that without like a moving, wandering, stable in that state.
Yeah.
You understand how important is shamatha vipassana. Otherwise, there's no way that you
Mm-hmm.
can gain the realization. Because even if you understand a little bit of the dzogchen or emptiness or whatever, if you don't be in that state,
Mm-hmm.
single pointedly
Mm-hmm.
or wavering or shaking,
Mm-hmm.
then no use. It's like
Yeah.
ordinary being. And in different systems of Buddhism, the higher you go, um, you'll find more easier, convenient, uh, an advanced way of shamatha and vipassana actually, and especially you go higher like a dzogchen even a generation stage in dzogchen practice becomes shamatha and vipassana inseparable. It has to go together simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
For example, the emptiness. You see the things uh truly doesn't exist. You are seeing the emptiness. But that emptiness view should be stable, and that becomes shamatha. So vipassana and shamatha together. And the difference between the shamatha vipassana that we are talking, the dzogchen is difference is heaven and earth, sky and earth.
Mm-hmm.
Totally different. It looks similar, yet calm abiding aspect and the clear seeing nature is there, but the clear seeing is perfectly clear seeing. Calm
Mm-hmm.
abiding is perfectly general shamatha we focus on one object,
Mm-hmm.
right? Dzogchen, we
Mm-hmm.
don't focus on the object. We
Yeah.
we have the view, and in that view we are completely immersed.
Mm-hmm.
We're not sleeping yet in a view that completely we are completely immersed. And we have this clarity and we have the seeing the reality of all phenomena, including your mind. So shamatha and vipassana, you go higher is very powerful. So that is why you can attain enlightenment within this lifetime with the
Mm-hmm.
absorption kind of shamatha vipassana. Shamatha
Mm-hmm.
Vipashyana system, like in the Theravada, General
Mm-hmm.
Mahayana, Vajrayana.
Mm-hmm.
Friends, there is a
Mm-hmm.
difference if you really understand. Kwong, Mr. Kwong here says, during the meditation, I'm going through visualization and imagination. How can I prevent the imagination? So, if it is Vipassana or Shamatha, if you are doing Shamatha, you are supposed to focus on one object right now. The Shamatha that I taught right now is a beginner shamatha and it should be focused on one object. And you are supposed to not think or not get distracted to any other objects. So you have to do is you have to bring back your mind again and again to that object. Now, if you're doing vipassana, then when the thoughts and imagination come, You know what? You have to just let it go without bird flying in the sky, no trace like that. And as I told you, you should. Where does it come from? How does it appear? You know where it goes. Like if you investigate, analyze, then it will disappear. Like I said, if a thief enters into an empty house, there's nothing to steal because you know there's reality, emptiness of the
mm,
nature. And he has another question which says, is it necessary to always stay focused and constantly remind oneself of the meditation object through the entire meditation process? Yes. During the shamatha meditation, you have to absolutely do that, like that. Only when we do that, we don't do that. We don't focus on anything.
mm,
It is beyond the mind. Dzogchen
mm,
meditation is beyond the mind, uh, beyond all extremes or elaborations, or existing, not existing, there, not there. Only
mm,
doing the Dzogchen meditation, but to arrive that stage right now, we have to
mm,
go systematically. Right now,
mm,
shamatha, vipassana, even generation stage practice, visualization, we have to visualize something. We have to
mm,
visualize. Deep inside, we know it is empty, not truly established, really existing. But again, we
mm,
have to visualize clearly. Like for example, we see the rainbow,
mm,
but we know deep inside not truly existing. We see the
mm,
mirage, but we deep inside we know it's not true. Like that. This
mm,
on a high dzogchen practices. Not right now. We have to focus on the object that you have chosen when you do the
mm,
shamatha. I'm just sharing you as an information right now. Don't be bothered by these Dzogchen steps. It's not
yeah,
even
yeah.
a time because Dzogchen teachings are beyond intellectual or ordinary
Mm,
mind,
mm,
which means wisdom, the nature of the mind. Nature of the mind is primordial wisdom,
mm,
pure awareness. In order to go beyond, first you have to know the mind. So right now we
mm,
are working with the mind.
mm,
You know, you don't know about the mind, how can you find the nature of the mind?
mm,
For example, first you don't see me, how can
mm,
you find out my
mm,
background? How can you
mm.
just check my qualities and all these things, personalities like
Yes,
that?
yes. Mm,
First, work with the mind, then
mm,
we'll work with the nature of the mind.
mm,
Vajrayana is called secret yana or secret epoch system. Why? It's not there something like fishy, terrible things going on within Vajrayana. It's naturally secret to those
mm,
who don't understand. Like, for
mm,
example, the nature of the mind,
mm,
this empty essence, luminous nature,
mm,
always like that, never change. That is why it's called Vajra or diamond.
mm,
But nobody understands. All the sentient, I mean, only the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas they realize and understand. That is, it's naturally secret to those who are not interested, or even those who are interested, they don't have that kind of mindset. So, and yeah, in order to go beyond meditation, you have to meditation beyond mind. You have to first know
mm,
about the mind. So, in order
mm,
to engage in the meditation shamatha and vipassana in context of dzogchen, you have to first know this shamatha, general shamatha and vipassana, how it
mm,
works, the mind. Likewise, how without knowing this general shamatha and vipassana, how can you know the
mm,
context in the Vajrayana, such as generation stage, completion stage, or great completion stage, which is dzogchen, right?
mm,
So that
mm,
is why it's very important. I want to, even if you cannot master the practice of shamatha vipassana, I really
mm,
want to have a good understanding and some taste.
mm, mm. Yeah.
Otherwise, you will end up with what you have been doing
Mm,
until now. You might have
mm,
practiced the deity for a long time. You might
mm,
have prayed. You might have supplicated for a long
Mm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah, yeah. Yes.
didn't answer your question or didn't respond to your practice
Sure.
because
Yes.
it should come from yourself within. There should change
Mm.
in your mind.
Yeah,
If you
absolutely.
have the way you see the world around,
Mm.
have changed. The
Yes.
affective emotions in your mind, it should have changed.
Mm.
If
Yeah,
that,
sure.
if your still mind is always like you get easily agitated, upset,
Mm.
things
Mm.
around, like no patience, and then you
Mm.
get sad and scared of things around, panic and
Mm.
all this. This, no matter you have been Buddhist for whole life, means
Yes. Yeah.
something is missing there. Because
Mm.
just praying outwardly, you think everything is existing out like someone like a god, or you think deity really exists outside independently somewhere else. Exactly. Independently there's existing and you're praying, 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 please, 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 please give me something.
Yeah.
Don't know the real protector or savior
Yes.
is here.
Yeah.
It's all because you didn't understand. You didn't systematically understand
Mm. Mm.
this principle, such as shamatha, vipassana, and all those things. Then this is exactly what happens with the cultural Buddhist or blind faith Buddhist.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why,
Understood.
anyway, I'm just reminding this again and again so that you will not rely on something outside, but rely on
Mm.
what is inside.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Dạ bạn
And
hãy
you
kể
will
một
be
câu.
your own protector, no one else. I
Ừ.
said that.
Dạ.
We are our own protector, means savior.
Ừ.
Buddha said, I cannot come and wave or wipe off your obscurations or negative actions. I
Ừ.
can only show you the method or the
Ừ.
path,
Dạ.
how I did, right? So that's what
Ừ.
Buddha said. So, as I mentioned, in the Vipassana, the mainly Vipassana is seeing the truth, ultimate nature, which is the emptiness.
Ừ.
We can call again that there's four kinds of emptiness, two kinds of emptiness, 16 kinds of emptiness, 18 kinds of emptiness, 20 kinds of emptiness in the Madhyamika philosophy in the Prajnaparamita Sutras. And all this, like, for example, like if we say emptiness of the inner or outer, its inner will be talking about the mental phenomena, like, you know, what is going in the mind, mental factor. Outer will be all these aggregates like a form and all these things like that, or outer phenomena. So anyway, when we say emptiness, when we say vipassana, we are finding the truth or reality, which is the emptiness
Ừ.
and interdependent origination, same meaning, emptiness, interdependent, and selflessness.
Ừ.
It's exactly what we are talking about because here's the thing, that there's two kinds of meditation in Vipassana. One, coming to
Ừ.
this definitive conclusion through analysis, you know,
Ừ. Ừ.
with your intelligence. You find out, for example, the object that you have been focusing or
Ừ.
visualizing. How does it really exist? Where
Ừ.
did it come from? Exists in
Ừ.
the outside, really, like if it is an external phenomena like a table, what is
Ừ.
the real table? Which part is the table?
Dạ, dạ, dạ.
Like the four legs, all this different part. If you break into particle,
Ừ.
you know, if
Dạ.
you dissect, you'll never find a such called table. It's just something assembled together, and you call it, label it, name
Ừ.
it, only name
Ừ. Dạ.
that kind of thing. You will find it. So that kind of analysis, and the same thing if you are angry, just what is
Ừ.
this anger? in the heart, in the brain, where, how, all these things, you will never find it.
Mm.
That kind of analysis you have to do. This is part of the meditation of the Vipashyana. So
Mm.
first phase of Vipashyana meditation, you analyze and come to the definitive conclusion,
Mm.
or even conclusion that it really doesn't exist. It is
Mm.
just an illusion, like a
Mm.
rainbow, like a mirage,
Mm.
like yesterday's dream. You
Mm.
that kind of analyze on each and every internal phenomena, external
Mm.
phenomena. External
Mm.
phenomena, all these different mental factors. External phenomena,
Mm.
all this chair, table, earth, rock, everything. You just analyze like that. You will even find a single, what do you call now, particle existing truly. It's just
Mm. 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 Yeah, yeah.
that kind of analytical meditation.
Yeah.
And another form of Vipassana meditation is then when you don't find it, you
Mm.
be in that not finding. Let's go resting meditation or placement meditation. You just be in that kind of meditative resting where you didn't find it.
Mm.
So if you find something truly existing, that
Mm.
means not come to the perfection, or
Yeah.
you didn't find the right answer,
Mm.
something truly existing. So you go
Mm.
further investigate and you'll find it doesn't exist. Seeing the nothing is seeing the best seeing. Yeah, so first, okay, here again, you analyze and you don't find it, then you have to be in that. Means it is similar, exactly what I say sometimes. Don't dwell in the past thought
Mm.
or present thought, or don't invite future thoughts. Like,
Mm.
don't go after the past thought, or don't try to remember, try to have past memory, and
Mm.
don't like go after what you see right now in present, what you hear, and all these things. Don't make future plans, all these things. Free of the conceptual thoughts of three times, all meaning same. When you don't find it, resting into that without even your body not moving, not talking, not thinking about anything, all like your what do you call now, your breath in natural mode, and all this thing mean same thing actually. So you see that kind of nature without any elaboration or
Mm.
conceptual elaborations. Like you will be decisively able to eliminate all this different extremes, or exist, non-exist, how it all everything you will able to go beyond. So like you beyond these conceptual elaborations. So if you see that kind of nature, this emptiness, that's going to be the view. And then that kind of meaning that you see or understand, that you try to experience through the meditation. So
Mm.
view, meditation,
Mm.
contact. And then
Mm.
contact means that contact brings the enhancement of that meditation, actually, meditation and view. So
Mm.
what whatever you see, contact means like you eat or you drink, or
Mm.
you sleep or walk or whatever, you bring that principle into your daily life.
That's
That's a conduct. So
mm.
conduct is in Tibetan we call bokdun. Bok Yunwa
Mm.
means enhancement to
Mm.
meditation and the view. So they finally view, meditation, conduct become inseparable.
Conduct. That's
Conduct or action. So
mm.
taking that kind of meaning that you realize through that conclusion that you come
Mm.
through analysis,
Mm.
so you need to take into this. You have to experience through meditation. So shamatha,
Mm.
vipassana.
Mm.
For example, now I see you analyze, you don't find it, and now there's analytic meditation, then you don't find it, and I told you to do the resting meditation or placement meditation, rest in that unfinding. You need shamatha.
Mm.
If you don't have shamatha, how can you rest? Then you will be like monkey, like look here, there, same thing. See, now you understand now. Even to do the Vipashyana, you need a shamatha. I said resting. You have to rest in that without moving, wandering of your thoughts, right? So
Mm.
shamatha and Vipashyana goes together now. So
Mm.
again, when we say analytical meditation, or analyze,
Yeah.
analyze on two aspects: self and all other phenomena. So, like self, emptiness
Mm.
of self
Mm.
or selflessness of individual,
Mm.
and then selflessness of phenomena, all phenomena, other phenomena.
Mm.
So these
Mm.
two, we call in Tibetan Gangsa Gedame and Chu Gedame.
Mm.
Or so all these different aspects of outer emptiness, inner emptiness, the emptiness of both, and then like that, both outer and inner, like this kind of all these things, and I can explain a little bit more later, one session, and we conclude the Vipassana teachings, and then we go to next to the Mandro. Anyway, uh, I think I should stop here, and I'll explain about this stuff a little bit more next week.
Next week. Okay.
Saturday morning.
Khenpo, you see the question here. Um, if the answer isn't found,
Mm.
how can the mind be at peace? How can it settle down?
Uh-huh.
And even if I meditate and try to set thoughts aside, the issue remains unresolved. So if the answer isn't found, so how can the mind can be at peace?
Ah.
Mm. How can we settle down all the things in the mind?
Here's the thing. We are talking in the context of Vipashyana, right?
Mm-hmm.
That Vipashyana, for example, first of all, when you do shamatha with the support, you focus on the support, Buddha's image, for a long time, and then you
Mm-hmm.
close your eyes, Buddha's image appear in the mind.
Mm-hmm.
You analyze, you find out, search for it, where it exists, how it exists in all these things. You will never find it actually. When
Mm.
you don't find it, you don't have to do anything.
Mm.
That is it.
Mm-hmm.
That is nature. You will never find it. So
Mm.
just don't do anything. Leave it as it is.
Mm.
In that not finding,
Mm.
that itself is a answer.
Mm. Understand
And
how to understand.
yes,
Mm.
that's what. Then just be there without
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You try to find answer. You'll never.
Mm.
No one will ever find it
Mm-hmm.
because it doesn't exist. It's just a, what do you call now? Almost like it is the illusion. The reason why you cannot find when you analyze truly existing is because it is emptiness. Emptiness is like a sky. And if you're looking for an end to the sky, you will never find it. You're going to be restless and exhausted. It's
Mm.
like in the Prajnaparamita Sutras, it's like a blind bird trying to look for an end of the sky. So we will never find anything truly existing. No,
Yep.
again, Minto said something else. She is backfiring again.
Okay, Khenpo,
Uh,
if we keep analyzing like that until the end,
hmm.
and the mind end up with the mind end up kept the stream of thoughts.
No, you'll not end up. Yeah, stream of thoughts.
Like,
Then you will not find it.
yeah,
Of
that
course,
she's
analysis is stream of thoughts. Yes,
yeah, and
analysis. You
it
think,
goes
think.
against, yeah, against the shamatha meditation.
No, no. Right now, Vipassana we're doing. Now, when you rest, then we come to shamatha again. Right? We intentionally we try to.
Yeah.
Right now, we are trying to think about the whether there's something that you see focus truly exists or not. That is our goal. You don't
Mm,
find
mm,
it, then you rest.
mm.
shamatha,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
finding in that, not finding in you in tranquility.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'm not supposed to tell you these answers. You're supposed to find out yourself. You come to the conclusion, and then if your answer is not right, then I'm supposed to say, but I told you. So I think, right? So it's a two kinds of
Yeah.
Vipassana meditation I mentioned last time, I think. One analytical, resting, and that not finding to analyze.
Yeah. Yes.
Anyway, how to end up into that not finding? Anything else? We'll talk more. That's called emptiness. We'll talk more. And then if right now, if you're practicing Vipassana, so you just analyze, investigate, and then if you're doing 20 minutes of Vipassana, then maybe 10 minutes rest, not doing, not thinking of anything, past, present, future. No thoughts of three times, or not going after the past thoughts, not inviting the future thoughts, not being in this world, going after what you see or hear, being in that free without reference, right, or focal point. That is resting meditation. That you are already, that if you can do that, you're already again doing very good shamatha if you can be in that. Dedication prayer.
Yes.
I drink a lot of water, so my bladder is full now. By this merit, through the nature of complete omniscience itself and the total defeat of all negativity, from the turbulent waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death, may all beings be liberated from the ocean of existence.